Here we are, guys. It's another Sunday night session. I'm your host, editor-in-chief of Watercraft Journal. I'm Kevin Shaw. This is going to be the most low energy, totally low energy podcast. I'm very, very sorry. But I have literally worked myself sick. I am very, very under the weather. Excuse me. I am coughing. I am sneezing. I am all full of sinus pressure. I'm living off of NyQuil and Dayquil and lots of vitamin C. So I apologize, but I don't think this is going to be a long one tonight because I am wiped out. I am really, really wiped out. So anyway, with that being said, we got some... No, it isn't. I don't have the Rona. If anything, I've got tuberculosis, the same thing that killed Doc Holliday. Excuse me. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Corona doesn't give you runny noses. It's called a cold, and it's what happens when you work nonstop and you have 3 little kids who bring home everything from public school. So, yay me. So anyway, this is the pain I put myself through for my art, for my viewers. All right, guys. So hey, heads up. We will not have a podcast next Sunday. I'm very sorry, but I'll be traveling. I'll be driving home. It's gonna be a long drive. We have some family stuff we have to attend to, and unfortunately, it's going to eat up half a week, and it's a big deal. So, unfortunately, I just won't be able to put up a podcast. As a consolation prize, I'll put up another quick topic video on Sunday. Just something to tide you over. Just something easy. And we'll pick them up the week after. So, yeah, unfortunately, I just won't be able to do one on this Sunday. I'm very sorry. I'm very appreciative of the super chats and the donations that come in. And trust me, I would not miss it if it were not totally necessary. So that is news I have to get out of the way. Let me check that off. And then we have, I'm hoping, I don't think it's going to happen. I think it's going to be the following week. But I'm really hoping to get the walkthrough of the 2021 Riva edition, the Riva limited edition Sea-Doo RX PX 350. That package, obviously, we're looking at 2022s, but the nice thing is that all that good stuff from Riva and the limited edition package carries over. Nothing is different from 21 to 22. Obviously, you can order your Riva limited edition RX PX 350 now with the tech package, which will give you the bigger 7-inch screen and the sound system. Other than that, I don't think that's going to be standard because I know they're only doing a dozen of them or so, or 15 of them. But if demand is there and supply is there, you might see more of them come out. It just depends. I was talking to Dave earlier this week. He's kind of squeezing me like, hey, I really want to see the video. And I'm like, so do I, but we're editing it. We want to do a good job. Unfortunately, I'll preface this. It won't matter because people will not hear this and they'll later make a comment on the video. But these were filmed in Riva's big warehouse that they have off campus. And filming any audio in a warehouse is a nightmare because of the echo. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw a Sea-Doo video that we did with Tim McKercher like 2 years ago, and the audio was just gnarly because they were in a warehouse. And unless you've got like super duper microphones and you're scrubbing out a lot of that stuff, which is a little bit above our pay grade, it's really hard to film in a warehouse. We try to avoid it where possible. Excuse me. So, yeah, the echoes in warehouses are just the worst. So, unfortunately, we did the haven't you said that for 3 weeks? No live session this week? No, I haven't. Well, Chris, this is why. This weekend was the Holly Mo Party, which was a 3-day event. It was 4 days for people like me who were presenting and putting on it. We put up a booth and put our project cars in there from the magazine. And today was totally rained out. So, I mean, they got a little bit of competition, a little bit of stuff. So we basically packed up at 10 o'clock, and I got home like at 2. And then I immediately collapsed because I'm sick. I just absolutely wore myself out. And my voice is gone. I was talking to people all weekend long and talking cars and engines and firing up engines and all that kind of stuff. And so I didn't make an announcement. I said if we weren't going to have a video, I would make an announcement. And I didn't make an announcement. In fact, I put up the artwork today saying, hey, we're doing a video. So there you are. Okay. So I see that I passed a super chat. Super chat. Oh, from Atlas Appliance. Thanks for the RXTX info and video. Looking forward to more content and anything I can learn about the PWC RXTX in particular. We have lots of RXTX. Thankfully, not much has changed from 2018, especially performance-wise. So everything 2018 and up is really applicable. The only difference is that they've been changing dashboards. They've been updating dashboards. They've been updating the LCD dash and going to full color dash. And so, from analog to digital, from analog to LCD, from LCD to full color with GPS. So we're going to have a GTX, but that's not going to be for like another 5 months. And when we do get the GTX, I'll do a big walkthrough of all the pages and all the different stuff with the tech package on the GTX Unlimited 300. So hopefully that will satisfy your cravings for that. I was going to save this for the end, but I might as well bring it up. Is the two guys who help us out with the YouTube channel and help us out with answering questions and things like that. The default setting is, number 1, reply to every comment, even if it's a snarky comment. Number 2, delete every guy who says first. I hate those guys. So that's my decree. If someone comes in and just types first, I literally delete the comment. It's dumb. You're wasting my time. You're wasting everyone's time. You're wasting the time for people who actually want to, make a comment or ask a question. So I delete those. Number 3 is more often than not, people who ask a tech question that has already been answered will be given an answer that basically tells them to go read an article or look for a video. We often do not give the hyperlink. The reason why is because YouTube does not like the hyperlinks. So the answer actually won't come up sometimes. I don't know what the problem is. Even if it's my own content, they won't let me share it sometimes. I don't know what to do. So we'll tell you, some guy's like, hey, I got an RXTX. What kind of sponses should I run? And we'll go, Riva Pro Series sponsons. Okay, well, have you reviewed them? Well, yeah, bro, we've done videos on them. So the reply will be like, yes, please use the search bar, either on the Watercraft Journal for the article or here on the YouTube channel to look at the video. We want you to go and watch the older stuff. We will not write a 3-page answer in the comment section. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. My guys aren't going to do it. I'm not going to pay him to. All right? It's first, we want the clicks on the video, and we want the clicks on the article. This is a business. It's a business. Sorry, not an independent millionaire, not independently wealthy. We want the clicks. So we're going to tell you to go do some searching. We're going to. And I know that pisses people off because we live in a fast food society. I want it now. Everyone's Veruca Salt from like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They're, but Daddy, I want it now. Screw you. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. But we'll honestly push you to go search. We'll honestly push you to go search. We want you to go look stuff up. And we typically won't. We definitely, we try to get, if it's a really hard thing or a really obscure article or a really obscure topic, I'll try to put the hyperlink up and cross my fingers that YouTube won't delete it. Otherwise, I'm just going to say, bro, just look it up. Just literally look it up. You'll find it. And I know that's an extra step, but I'm not going to write a big, long, let me explain to you all the reasons why, because I've written an article for that, or I've done a video on it, and it's obnoxious to repeat myself. And then the Max, I will have everything on the Ultras. I have the exclusive. Me. I have the exclusive. I will have everything. When? Can't tell you. But anyway, so I'm sorry if that's not the answer you want. I know that's not the answer most people get. They're like, why did you just tell me? I'm like, because it's not a tweet. I can't tweet you the answer. I can't make it 100 characters or less. So sorry. All right. Sometimes book learning takes a little bit more than a tweet. So, I mean, I know that sounds harsh and guys get mad and they're like, well, that sucks, dude. You can't sum it up. And I'm like, no, I can't sum it up. But find someone else who can, and I guarantee you they're wrong. So, speaking of wrong, let's get on today's topics, which are going to be really, really short. So, couple weeks ago, I got a very nice email from the guys at from Taiga Motors up in Canada. And they sent me this video, and they're like, oh man, we're so excited. The Orca goes 74 miles an hour. I was like, holy crap, really? And they had this press release all written up. Sounded really nice. And Andrew, that's a very good question. Let me answer that in a second. So Taiga sends me this press release saying Taiga Orca goes 74 miles an hour. And it's the video. It's a downloadable files of video. I watched the video. It's a clip from this Brandon Fallis out of Canada. And I'm like, okay, great. Cool. I'll put it up. And I go through it. I find Brandon's video. I link it to him. I try to do the right thing. We put the video up. Okay. And all of a sudden, the comments start coming in. And they go, dude, he's going, it's not miles per hour. It's kilometers per hour. It's kph. And my guys are hitting me up going like, hey, we're getting spammed here. We're getting attacked here. I said, well, delete the spam comments. This is before I even look at it. And then a guy messages me and he says, I'm telling you, go to the 3 3-minute, 4-second mark on Brandon's video, not yours, but Brandon's video. He zooms in on the dash. It's KPH. I'm telling you, dude, you got it wrong. So I'm like, okay, I got to look at this now. So I go to Brandon's video. I look at it, and I mean, clear as day. It says KPH in little blue letters. And I go, oh my gosh. Crap, what do I do? So it was already tracking. It was going nuts. I mean, the video was already going nuts. Because it's like, hey, electric PWC goes 74 miles an hour. So we changed the video, or we changed the artwork, and I put in big bold letters in the description. Hopefully people can see it. This, this is in kilometers, not miles. There's an error in here, and I know I'm saying miles per hour, and I'm all excited it's going miles per hour. I'm talking out of my butt because I was believing what a corporation was telling me, right? And the video that they sent me, you can't see KPH. Can't see it at all because it's blue on a black screen with big white letters going 74 miles an hour. And the host says, wow, this thing went 74 miles an hour. I didn't have reason to think they were lying. Thankfully, a lot of our eagle-eyed viewers were like, that doesn't sound right. No. And they went back and they checked it out and they called me on it. So I sent an email off. I changed everything, but I kept the video up. So it's me being wrong, saying it's going 74. It's clearly not. Because YouTube won't let me add any sort of asterisks. Hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is blah, blah, blah. They won't let me change it at all. So the video's up, and I didn't want to take it down. Quite frankly, I wanted the views. So I was like, crap. Ugh, this makes me look, I got egg on my face. This sucks. So I reached out to Tyga, and they were like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. And I sent them all the screenshots, and I sent them everything, and I sent them copies of the text messages. And I'm like, dude, we're getting trashed here. And I was like, I really hope you weren't trying to deceive me and deceive my audience. I'm really hoping that you guys this is an honest mistake. Oh, yeah, for sure. We're really sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry, eh? Okay. Sorry about that. So I was like, oh, man. Okay. So yeah, I was wrong on that one. I literally got duped. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and just say it was a mistake by their marketing department. But I acted quick. I put it up, and it was no good. So basically, I got to own that one. I mean, whether it was a mistake or not, or whether it was intentional or not, remains to be seen. Okay, so let's go back. Andrew had a very good question. Andrew says, when I go to the article for the RXTX sponsons, it says there was a video, but the video is unavailable. I had to take the video down. I'll tell you why I had to take the video down. The video was a very short, like minute and a half, 2-minute video. And it was just literally my face, which no one needs to see. But it was just the GoPro on the nose of our 2018 RXTX 300. Right out of the gate when I put the sponsons on at 4. All right, set them at 4. And over the sound system, I think I might have had Dropkick Murphys, or I might have had Rancid playing. And every 2 weeks, we were getting pinged by YouTube. They're like, you can't monetize this. Okay, fine. I turn monetization off. Then I'm getting copyright strikes. I'm like, dude, I took the monetization off. Who cares? You can't play it. So I asked YouTube to try to erase the music, and then it erased all the audio, and it screwed it all up. And I'm like, I can't win with you guys. So for whatever reason, I was freaking out YouTube's algorithm, or the YouTube's police, trademark police people, and they were having a conniption fit over it. So we finally had to take the video down. So unfortunately, there's no video, Andrew, for me just doing a bunch of S-turns and hairpins as hard as humanly possible and laughing like an idiot. And that's literally all it was. I did do a video. I believe I did a video. At least I know I did an article documenting how they go on and documenting how well they worked. And there's pictures of me laughing and this is great. So that's basically, a snapshot of what that video was. All right, John writes, thanks for all your help and guidance. I drove 5 hours away and picked up a screaming deal on a 2020 FX SVHO with 11 hours on it out by Boston. Your videos were so helpful in deciding what I want. Well, my pleasure. And I'm glad that you're able to find a ski and do so quickly. That's great. I'm happy for you, John. Oh, here's John again. All right. John writes, is there an aftermarket plate you would recommend for the 2020 FX SVHO? LOL. Just kidding. I know the Riva. Real question is there a special care or procedures I should keep in mind with nano hull? I mean, okay. Basic to way over the top. All right. Basic, don't beach it. Don't run it up the bunks of your trailer too fast because that friction can burn the paint. All right. Because I've seen guys go and just throttle right up the banks of their trailer, and they go and they just see two dark streak marks go right down the paint of their hull. Don't do that. Anchor. Buy an anchor. Buy a decent anchor, and always anchor your ski in minimum 3 feet of water. Don't run it up the beach. I know Yamaha and Sea-Doo and Cowie all do the beach pictures for their press releases and pull the skis up on the beach, and there's the pretty couple holding hands with a little backpack or their life vest, and they're walking towards the sunset with the two skis on the water, and it looks great. And then they go, do not beach your ski. Do not do this. And I tell you, don't do it. So don't do it. Number 3. Now mind you, accidents happen. God knows accidents happen. All right. You can't be blamed for accidents. I live on a lake that's quite literally a minefield full of floating trees and all this kind of stuff. And you hit stuff. You do your damnedest, but you might hit something. So if you do manage to hit something, get underneath and look at it. Because if it's a scratch, or if it's a scuff is different from a scratch. Scuff is topical. Scratch is a permeative. It goes in. All right. Anyway. Ugh, I'm so wiped out. Okay. So if it's deep, if it's a groove or a deep scratch, if it's still color, if you still see color, believe it or not, you could fill it in with nail polish, even clear nail polish. If you're going into the primer, then I would really recommend going to colorright.com and getting the repair kit. And they have little brushes that look like nail polish kits, and you can fill it in using that. Now, if you really want to go over the top, if you really want to be like gung-ho, this is never going to get hurt. What I recommend, this is a little crazy, but find a really good paint and body shop, a painter. Get the ski in the air, mask it all off, mask off your intake grate and your ride plate, but make sure you paint, or I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You're going to get towards those edges. And I would apply minimum 1, if not 2, clear coats with a flex additive. Okay? Now, you might want to take the decals off the side and then reapply the decals on top of the clear coat. You might not want to paint over those decals. But if you do, you'll never have to worry about scratching those decals because they've got clear coat painted over them. So that's up to you. But I strongly suggest clear coat with a flex additive. Automotive clear coat with a flex additive. And that's like a $35, $45 additive from any paint supply place. On the bottom of your old Nano XL 1 or Nano XL 2 hull, especially for an FX. Nano XL 2, really. Nano 1 doesn't really have the problems. Now, mind you, there's guys who are like, I use Rhino Liner or I use all this other stuff. I don't recommend those. I just don't. I've seen a lot of conflicting information regarding Rhino Liners and Gator Back and all the different stuff that are optional treatments for the hull. So I hope that answers your question. All righty. Let's go back to, the Orca thing. I'll eat it on the Orca thing. Everything else that I got on my list has to do with the switch. Because I couldn't find much that I really goofed up in the last 6 months or last year regarding Watercraft. So I'm going to start with one thing that I was adamant about, and I'll tell you why I'm adamant about it. All right. In the video and in the article, I state that every single Sea-Doo switch comes with an anchor and a 100-foot line. And I stood by my guns on that one. I was like, no, whoever's telling you otherwise, they're wrong. And I'm right. And I'll tell you why I said they're wrong and I'm right. And then I'll follow up why I'm wrong and they were right. So, what I recommend, or what I'd said was that every single Sea-Doo switch came with a anchor and a dock line, or anchor line, excuse me. And the reason being is that James Hines, who is the head of all global Sea-Doo, James Hines, he's on camera. In my video. He's the guy pulling the anchor out. He's the guy shirtless jumping off the back. He's the head of all Sea-Doo. All right? He's the head of global Sea-Doo. I'll read you the email. Here's the email right here. You guys can zoom in. All right? Make sure that I'm not lying. I'm sure I brought it up to show you. I write on September 15th, so 4 days ago. I write, hey, James, I got you on camera that all, capital all, switches come with a boat anchor and line. But I've got dealers saying, no, Kevin, it's an accessory. Which is it? He writes back, he goes, hey, Kevin, my error. What I meant to say was each model comes with the anchor/rope dedicated storage compartment. The anchor and rope themselves need to be ordered as an accessory. So I go, rats, looks like I need to make a retraction. And he's like, hey, apologies. And I sent him the meme of, you're killing me, Smalls. So that is our interaction. All right. I was wrong. I simply had the wrong information. And I had it from a really good, credible source. So I'm going to throw James under the bus on that one. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was him. It was me. Sorry, I told you I have a cold. All right, sorry. So anyway, yes, I'm throwing James under the bus. Sorry. Okay, so that was the email I had from James. Okay, so let me mark that off. Number 2, the Sea-Doo Switch Tri-Tunes. I said that the center hull, the difference in height, or depth, I should say, the difference in depth from the center hull to the outriggers was 4 inches. It was in the video. It's in the article. And I actually have a cell phone shot of the presentation, and it said 4 inches. And I got a very neat email with some engineering with some engineering pics that have never been shown. So I was going to show this. These are actually CAD. These are original CAD layout designs, and it shows all the really neat details down here. I was gonna zoom in for you guys, for anyone who's interested in seeing some kind of behind the scenes Sea-Doo stuff. But the one thing it's showing here is the measured difference from the very bottom of the keel of the center hull. By the way, the center hull has sponsons. If you guys didn't see that, there's sponsons on these things. You know, should you put a set of Works or Pro Series sponsons on it? I don't know. Would it make a difference? I don't know. But engineering came back and they said, Kevin, it's 7.32 inches in difference. So 7 1/3. Big difference. Or 7 1/4. So yeah, that was actually really interesting. I was really surprised by that. So wanted you to know I'm a mess. I'm sorry, guys. I'm on so many freaking, oh gosh. My wife's like, you can just say, sorry guys, I'm not doing a podcast tonight. I'm like, no, I let everyone know I'm doing one. It'll be next week. We're not doing one because I'm traveling. Okay. So that was really something pretty cool. Just to get some, behind the scenes CAD designs of the, what's this thing called? The Switch? Oh my gosh. All right. This was just kind of a fun profile pic, but believe it or not, so many people have been asking whether it's safe to bring these up on a beach. And I'm saying, no, anchor them. They come with an anchor. Anchor it. But dealers have been telling people, no, you can bring it up on the beach. You can bring it up on the beach. And they're saying that there's 12 feet between the tip of the keel and the beginning of the dead rise of the hull. So that they're like, no, it's safe if you want to bring it up to a sandbar. So Sea-Doo's saying you can bring it up on a sandbar. They have carbon seals, which was another one of my corrections. Yes, they have carbon seals. A week or so before I was ever able to get my hands on the Switch, a guy asked me if it had a carbon seal. I had heard differently, but I didn't know. And I gave a really kind of vague answer. I was like, I can't imagine it would, but maybe. I don't know. I mean, and he's like, I told you. You were wrong, Kevin. It's got a carbon seal. You were wrong. I told you. I'm like, okay, great. You got me. Woohoo. You beat the ginger. Woo. Here's your cookie. I don't know. What do you want? So, yeah. So if anyone asks if you can pull your Switch up onto the beach, they're saying you can. So, cool. Go for it. Have fun. So, yeah. Let's see. Carbon seal. Talked about that. Dead rise. Talked about that. Talked about that. Last one. People were asking, why isn't the 13-footer, which is the 13-footer, why isn't the 13-footer available with the 2-foot swim step on the back or swim platform on the back, as well as the catalytic converter? And I thought I gave that answer earlier, but people absolutely do not want to search or go through old episodes or anything like that. So I'll say it again here, but knowing that the person who berated Cody, one of my guys, absolutely screamed at him and called him all sorts of names over this one topic, which I'm like, dude, if that's what it takes for you to lose your cool, you're kind of a 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. but whatever. So anyway, oh, okay. I was like, what am I talking about? So apparently maritime rules state that vessels over 13 feet have to have a catalytic converter. This vessel is not 13 feet. It comes in like 1.5 inches or 2 inches short of 13 feet. It's like 12 and change, 12:10, 12:11, whatever. And so splitting hairs, they snuck it right in. And they're like, cool, we don't have to put the cat converter on this thing. The most horsepower you can get out of any 13-foot switch is the 170, which the 170 without the catalytic converter in the 13-footer is one of the funnest versions that we got to ride. The thing is a friggin' riot. It's a riot. It's a lot of fun. That's the one you see Greg Gaddis like losing his mind. He's like, this one's a blast. That one is, yeah, no, dude, Scott, I'm loaded. I'm high as a kite. Yeah, no, I'm a mess. So sorry. Yeah, I'll own that. I told you guys I'm a mess. So because of U.S. Coast Guard regulations and other environmental regulations, a 13-foot vessel has to have a catalytic converter. This is not 13 feet long. And this is why the 2-foot platform on the back is not available for the 13-footer. Do you connect the dots? Do you understand why? Okay. Because suddenly you tack on another 2 feet onto this thing, and it does count. It does count. All right. All of a sudden, that 13-footer now has to have the catalytic converter. And that's a problem. So it's a 1-2 punch. All right. The 13-footer, in order to not have the catalytic converter, must not be available with the 2-foot swim step on the back or swim deck on the back. And that is why. You get it? Are we clear? Capiche? Buenissimo. All right. That's it. I'm done. Let's answer some questions. Then I'm going to bed. All right, cool. I'm planning to, Jason. Quit being my mom. You're not my mom. All right, cool. All right, what do we got? Let's see. What's up, everyone? Beer's Billy. There we go, Billy. Everyone say hi to Billy. Good. All right. Will the Riva reprogrammer reset bucket code error on a 2021 Yamaha? It should be able to scrub the code. I've seen some guys have a lot of success with that. So don't take it, don't place a bet on it. Don't put any money on it. But I believe so. That might be a question you want to call Riva tomorrow and be like, hey, listen, will my map tuner be able to scrub this code? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, totally, go for it. All right. Totally socially distanced on the internet. Nah. Kevin is making cameos on Riva Racing's YouTube channel. Oh, the fact that they completely and totally stole my video that we did and put it on, my 20-minute walk around video. Yeah. I'm not that I'm mad. It's just like, all right, fine, Dave, I get it. Oh, we got a big super chat just came in. Greg, wow, thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. My goodness. All right. All right. Let's see. Here's Chris trying to give me grief. Chris, by the way, I'll send your hose out this week. I got your PayPal. So thank you. I appreciate that. Chris bought a long hauler auxiliary fuel system kit for his Ultra 310. So we just he did some custom stuff and we're gonna send some replacement parts. All right. Bought a hoodie. Oh, cool. Thank you, Jason. I hope you like it. Let's see here. When is Kawasaki's reveal date? I don't know the exact date. It's going to be like the first week of October. My buddy is getting an Ultra 160 to replace his GTX 185. Is there a good aftermarket tune for a 160? Ultra 160? Oh, you mean an Ultra LX, 160 horse? Ultra? Not really, dude. Yeah, there's not really a lot for that Ultra motor. Will he miss the supercharger? His other ski was a GTR 215. You're talking, dude, it's not even apples and oranges. You're talking like apples and cantaloupes. I mean, they're not in the same family. Ross, I'm happy to answer this, but it's not a satisfactory answer because they're so different. It's like, hey, my buddy traded in his Gixxer motorcycle for a Cadillac Eldorado. How do you think you'll like that? Okay. Got a big super from Chris. Go drug up and get some rest. Thanks for the watercraft, man. Just got my 4 GoPros. Holy crap. You're dropping coin, dude. Engage your brain shirt. Dude, I've been running around. We haven't even touched the design of it. But that's kind of a fun one, though. I thought it would be fun for an Engage Your Brain shirt. All right. Oh, I'm missing. Is there a conversation here? Are there any features on the newer skis you don't like? Is the Garmin for fishing from Yamaha worth it, or save it for a bigger and better unit? The Garmin unit is actually, I think the Garmin unit is almost identical to the standard Fish Pro unit, which really covers all your bases. I mean, yeah, it's a really good unit. I mean, Garmin's happy to sell it to anyone. So if Cowie, Sea-Doo, Yamaha all want to have the same one, they'll sell it to them. They don't care. Now, are there any features you don't like? Would you like to hear my list of grievances? Here's going to be Kevin just crapping on stuff for like the next 30 minutes. That'd be a terrible thing to do. Oh, that wouldn't help anything. All right. Let's see here. I'm curious about Kawasaki too. I ride Yamaha. Cousin has an STX 15F, and I like the hull. Well, the STX is the same hull. They haven't changed hulls, so you're good. All right. Scott, Wally Gator. Oh my gosh. Well, Wally Gator. Then he was hanging out with what was the pink? Not the Pink Panther, but exit stage left even. Yeah, that guy. Switch looks like one of those little paddle boats you can rent at the park, with a Sea-Doo motor in it. Well, the 13-foot is. I'll tell you what, the 16-foot with my favorite was the 16-foot with the 230 engine in it. Not this. I would, if I was to get one. See, it's funny. I like the low fence coming down, and the base and the Sport have that low fence. The Cruise has an extension that brings it pretty perpendicular, or parallel with this line. All right, it brings up a little bit higher. I like the Cruise more because it has more seating, has more actual benches. I did not like the seating on the floor thing at all, like whatsoever. I like the concept of it. If I was stationary and laying out, okay, great, that'd be fine. Something the kids could put a towel down, lay out. My wife could lay out on a towel and get a tan, and that'd be great, listening to music. But the cruise with the sound system, cruise with the Garmin, cruise with the seats, cruise with the table. I'd get a 16-foot with the 230 and a heartbeat. Cruise, yeah, it's more loaded. Ugh. You're going to end up being in the 30s, like high, like mid 30s with that 16-footer. But the cruise with the 230 was the way to go. Now the 16-foot 230, it's rowdy. It's not this with the 170. That's a hoot. The 16-foot with the 170 got out of its way. The 16-foot with the 100 couldn't get above 12 miles an hour. It was a dog. But the 16-foot with the 170 or the 230, way to go. The 19-foot with the 2-foot extension on the back, even with the 230, I liked how roomy it was, but it didn't ride as nice as the 16-foot. There was a little bit more flexing. There was a little bit more popping, a little more noise coming out of it because it was so long and it was so big and had so much weight. The 16-foot didn't feel so big, didn't feel so cumbersome going around. So I personally really liked the 16-foot with the 2-foot extension on the back with either the 170 or the 230 horse. I'd prefer cruise over sport. That's me. Okay. Let's see here. Greg asks, do you have any excitement over any other electric PWC? Any word rumors on Yamaha, Kawasaki, Sea-Doo jumping in on that market? Sea-Doo will have one. I have estimated between 3 to 5 years. 3 is early. Depends on how the political climate is. If they start really coming down, if the political climate gets really ugly, expect 3 years. And it'll have a very short running time. Sea-Doo has a working prototype already. It's been working for a couple years. It's a GTI, Polytech hull, lightweight. I do not know the runtime. I do not know the power output. I just know it works. They like it. They're just concerned about battery life, and they're concerned about, quite frankly, this is the big thing, is infrastructure. Not a lot of people talk about the infrastructure when it comes to electric personal watercraft. You cannot take an electric personal watercraft to any dock in the continental United States and say, fill her up, Bill. What's he going to do? Run an extension cord out? He's like, oh, we got 220 in the back. Let me run a cord out and go to your adapter and plug your adapter in. There's no infrastructure. That's the problem. Battery life is number one. Number two, infrastructure. And they have to, they're literally trying to solve those themselves. Yamaha will come out 3 to 5 years after Sea-Doo. And Kawasaki will probably never do it. At least for like another decade. Unless California says no more gasoline watercraft boats, recreational boating. If the state of California says absolutely no more, it has to be electric by 2026, Cali will just go, okay, we're done. It was fun. Thanks for all the fish. Toodaloo. And they'll split. I just don't see. Cali has nothing going on internally to jump the shark and go electric. Yamaha could do it if someone held a gun to their head. If someone held a gun to their head, they'd be like, oh, fine. Sea-Doo, they could pull the trigger in 3 years. Easy. It won't be great. It'll be the first. The first of something really big. But it'll be the first. Sea-Doo will be first. Guaranteed. Sea-Doo's always the first. Sea-Doo is really the only one who is pioneering anything. They're willing to make the risks. I'll say it that way. Sea-Doo is the only one willing to make the risk. They are. And Yamaha is reactive. They react. They go, oh, crap, what do we do? And they got to react. You know, their dealers are squeezing them, and they go, what? Hey, dude, I can't keep Sea-Doos on the floor. I'm trying to convince them to buy a Yamaha. I got nothing to compare with their Spark Tricks, or I got nothing to compare with their RXPX, or I got nothing to compare with their, GTI 90 with a Polytech hull or whatever. I don't know, or their Spark. Okay, what do we do with a Spark? So Yamaha has to react, and they react like, oh crap, and they have to they're reacting. They're not proactive. They're being acted upon. Does that make sense? So that is something that is for electric watercraft. Sea-Doo will naturally on their own probably 5 years. If the environment is such that they're kind of got a gun to their head, it could be 3 years. Yamaha, it'll take them a while longer. Kawasaki, if legislation comes tearing down saying either make an electric ski or get out, they'll get out. I know that sucks, but state of the union right now. All right. Okay. The blow-off valve will cause it to stall if you... I don't know what Jason's saying. Okay. Jason Bourne writes, I use a dog leash corkscrew as an anchor. Works great and doesn't take up too much space. That has been the best kept secret, is those dog leash corkscrews totally work. They and you can go to a grocery store and get them. You can go to PetSmart and get them. They're like $10. They're great. And they'll rust out after a season. But you know what? Take some steel wool, scrub on it. You'll be fine. According to NADA used values, a 2018 RXTX went up over $1,000 last month. Oh yeah. What navigating GPS backbone does the new FX series come with? Is it based off of the big names or is it proprietary? Are you okay, you're talking the in-dash 2022 FX. Okay, so Yamaha Connects. It's either through Lowrance or TomTom, I think. But then they're putting Garmin's on them, so maybe because there's no Garmin pop-up. You would see the name and it would say Garmin. Guy, I thought it was Lowrance. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sorry, Mr. D or Mr. DJ. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have a good answer for that one. I do not know. That's a very good question. You stumped me. All right. For stumping me, if you want. I think I got some envelopes. I do. I have some envelopes of stickers. Hey, Mr. DJ, email me at info@watercraftjournal.com. Info@watercraftjournal.com. Send me your address. I'll send you some stickers for stumping me. I'm not going to look up the answer because I'm too tired and lazy, but I'll still give you some stickers. Hey, guys, can we get the likes to 100? Please? I'd like to get the likes to 100. We only got 68. Even though I'm totally, falling asleep on camera. This is terrible. I look like I'm hungover and I don't even drink. All right. Let's see here. Here, Scott? Okay. Hey, Kevin, how do you think a Polytech 4-stroke Sea-Doo 3D would do in this market? It was a terrible time for single riders in 2005. A Polytech 3D would be lighter than a Cowie SXR 1500. That's funny. The stand-up market is still the stand-up market. I mean, don't get me wrong. The SXRs and the Superjets are selling. Sea-Doo they tried the stand-up. They got burned. They're really, really emotionally not interested. They would be more akin to a true one-seater sit-down like an HX, a revised HX, than they would a stand-up. Not that they're going to make one. Okay. Rudy writes, I have a 2021 GP 1800R SVHO with 20 hours on it. Love the ski, but in choppy water, the hood pops open. Is this a common problem? You have to readjust your latch because the latch mechanism isn't engaging all the way. Now, what's really common is the glove box door latches are snapping off. That's why they redesigned them. They had to redesign them because they were just bad. Oh, they haven't done it yet. They haven't done it. Sorry, it's not out yet. They're gonna, but it's not out yet. I just let that loose. But yeah, as far as the hood latch goes, you're gonna have to go in there with a set of screws or a screwdriver and just back the screws out and readjust where it is, and then tighten it and see if that keeps it latched a little bit harder. All right. Let's see here. Hey, Kevin, what do you prefer? Naturally aspirated FX over SVHO FX? Pros and cons. Interested in the cons for the SVHO. Not a lot of cons for the SVHO. To be honest, if I was to... I was going to say it. If I was to buy a ski last year, not knowing what's happening this year, I would buy an FX SVHO, not a cruiser, but an FX SVHO. There's way too much potential in it. I would tune it. I'd have an 80-mile-an-hour ski in a heartbeat because it's so easy to go 80 on that ski. 78, 79. I round up to 80. There's really not that much that's bad about the SVHO. The problem is that most people who come to me asking, hey, should I buy an SVHO or an HO? I will always recommend the HO because if you are on the fence over supercharged over naturally aspirated, you're probably not ready for supercharged. That and 180 horsepower in an SVHO or 180 horsepower on an FX HO is great. It's great. It'll go 59, 60, 61, especially with the new ride plate that they got. And it's comfortable. It tracks awesome. It's a predictable ride. It doesn't beat you up. It doesn't chine walk. It doesn't wander. It doesn't bow hunt. It really is a great hull. And you can be pinned all day on an HO and not run that tank dry. I mean, seriously, you can run that HO. I think I had the same tank of gas in a loaner for almost a month. Now, mind you, I wasn't riding it a lot, but we never bothered to fill it up. 18.5-gallon tank, 87 octane. Give me a break, guys. It's great. It's great. So I do strongly recommend the HO. You know, people are like, oh, well, the supercharger clutches go out. Dude, if you're modifying, yeah. If you're modifying, you're tuning your ski, you're putting more boost through it, yeah, you could hurt your ski. If you're just going to ride it stock, you'll be great. You'll be great. You'll be great. Once you hit about 42, 43 miles an hour, you'll start to see the boost kick in. You know, centrifugal has to make so many revolutions, so many RPM before it really starts to build up positive pressure, positive atmosphere. And once it starts building up PSI, starts building up positive atmosphere, then it starts pushing that boost through the throttle body, and then you start sucking more fuel. But in the 30s, it acts like a naturally aspirated ski. 40, naturally aspirated ski. In the 50s, you're running maybe 2 PSI. That's not too bad. And guys get crazy gas mileage out of an SVHO just going 40. Cruise control set at 40, 42. Trim up, and they cruise all day, and they do 100 miles on a tank of gas. So I know it makes me a hypocrite. I'm undoing what I say to most people, but I'm tired and I don't care, and I'm high as a kite on NyQuil. So now's the time to ask me. All right, let's see here. Missed the start at work. Hope you're better soon. Matte ceramic coating. Is it worth it for the top deck? Not really. I mean, you can. I've seen some really beautiful ceramic coating jobs, and they never get water spots. It's just expensive. But if you're on top of it, do it. If you want to do it, do it. It works. I mean, it does work. Don't get me wrong. It works. Boy, I've seen some really beautiful ceramic coatings that you just hit it with the hose. Everything just goes whoop. You hit it with a microfiber towel, wipe it off. Forget it. Forget it. It's gorgeous. Looks like it's brand new. All right. Kevin, do we get stickers for listening to you today? If you make a super chat, Caribbean PWC, if you make a super chat, I'll send you stickers. Or if you stump me on a good question, not like, what was the Eastern European policy of the 17th president of the United States? I'm like, so, all right. And it was Andrew Johnson who was the 17th president. All right, Brandon, just put an order in on 2022 RXPX Triple Black, but with all carbon sealed nonsense. Should I look more towards Kawasaki with their launch coming in October? Well, did you watch our video? This is Brandon's question. Brandon, did you watch our video on the carbon seal? We've done multiple videos on carbon seals. First and foremost, never shallow start your Sea-Doo. Ever, ever, ever. Don't shallow start your Sea-Doo. That'll increase the likelihood that your carbon seal will survive 100-fold. Number 2, they have redesigned the carbon seal, and they also have a new formula for it. The failure rate. The failure rate for carbon seals. Wow. I'm a mess. I'm sorry, guys. They've radically improved the failure rate. So 2021s saw very little carbon seal failure. I mean, very little. And 2020 saw very little. And it's just gotten better. It's gotten better. The carbon seal failures that you're seeing are still older units or people who insistently shallow start their skis. They don't want to push it out into the water because maybe it's too cold, and they don't want to dip their jewels in the water, and they go, oh, it's cold. It's like, well, okay, princess, that's your problem. Get a swim step, push it out, get into 3 foot to 4 feet of water, push it out, get on it, fire it up while you're coasting out. You'll be fine. You've never had a problem. I've never had a carbon seal fail. Never had a carbon seal fail. You want to know why? I know how to use one. I know how to use a watercraft. I'm not an idiot. Now, mind you, there are people who have done everything they've been asked of them. They've had them fail. I get it. I know. Oh my gosh. But those guys are rare as diamonds. They're rare. Well, diamonds aren't that rare, but it's very rare. All right. Most carbon seal failures are user error. Sorry. I'm sorry for the harsh reality, but most people are dingbats, and they'll shallow start their skis, or they'll jump their boat and wring it out got it totally pinned in the air, rah, and hit the water and hurt their carbon seal. That's what happens. Sorry. You know. Go to the Facebook page called Rim King, RIM space KING. This guy goes 50 feet in the air. He and his wife. He sells real deluxe, rims to guys in Miami. He makes a bunch of money. He loves RXPXs. That's all he ever buys, RXPXs. This guy goes out of, government cut in Miami, goes jumping the wakes of these multi-million-dollar yachts. I mean, he just goes sky high. See how many carbon seal failures he gets. You want to know why? Because he knows how to launch them. He immediately cuts the throttle and he tombstones it in, and then he rolls into the throttle again. He's not hurting these things. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's also way on top of his maintenance. But yeah, he keeps buying Sea-Doos. You don't hear this guy bitching about carbon seals. And this guy is radically abusing his skis. He is intentionally trying to kill his skis, and he doesn't have carbon seal failures. Why? Because he knows how to ride it right. He knows what he's doing. All right. So anyway, all right. Your thoughts on the Switch? I am thinking of purchasing one for boat tours as an addition to my water sports company here on the Gulf Coast, Florida. Well, I gave you some insight already on that one, Chris, in regards to 16-foot versus 19-foot, powertrain-wise. And then, of course, my review of those is pretty informative as well. So hopefully that was enough for you. Hopefully that scratched your itch on that one. What other? Okay, will either the Riva Power Filter Cold Air Kit or Pro Series sponsons for FX fit on the 22 GP? No. Well, I think the sponsons do. I think they're the same part number, but I don't think the cold air filter does. You have to double check the part number. I can't tell you that one right now. Oh, Jason already answered that. Thank you. All right. You spoke to how the 2020 GP 1800R hull felt every bump. It wasn't until I owned one that I knew what you meant. Every bump. Is the FX really night and day? Yes. Now that it's SMC, even more. And for my bag, it's all I got. Yes, 100%. All right. Yes, Kawasaki was the first with audio. It is true. All right. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. But I've heard good things about Sandshark. Were you not happy with Sandshark when it came to an anchor? That's surprising. I've actually heard really good things. Mr. DJ, info at Watercraft Journal. Got ya. All right. Max writes, do you think there is a chance of a new Ultra having footwell drains, narrow seat, new trim control, larger back deck? Sorry to be the guy banging on about the Cowies, but I love the vids. I do not foresee the deck being redesigned. No. Yeah, I do. What the hell do I think? Yeah. Yeah, they're going to redesign the deck. Will it have footwell drains? No, because the STX doesn't have it. Basically, you can see everything that's in the new STX. Expect a larger version of that in the Ultra. So the little waterproof glove box door in the glove box, expect that. Cup holders, expect that. The new handlebars, yes, expect the handlebar re-layout. But the trim control buttons are the same. So they're not gonna change the buttons. I mean, at least like the tactility of the buttons. Maybe the layout might change. But will it have a more narrow seat? Potentially, but you still have to have all that engine access. They're not going to have a little sub deck like the Yamahas do, like the VXs and the GPs or the Sea-Doos. So it'd be really hard to get a narrow seat, but that would be that'd be helpful. A resculpted seat. What is the best mod you can do to prolong the life of my SVHO? Stay on top of your service. Stay on top of your service. Don't run it in anything. Don't run on a beach. Engine breather kit. I wouldn't change cold air. I wouldn't do it. It's just me. I wouldn't really mod it. To be honest, longevity is best left stock. Why doesn't the Yamaha Kinex have a depth finder? Because it has to have a depth sounder inside of the hull. And it doesn't have that. Because money. Does a new Cowie come with a depth finder? I don't know. Haven't seen a new Cowie. Ran out of gas on my 2019 GP, towed it to shore, only took 16 gallons to fill. Where did my other 2.5 gallons go? Good question. I wonder if you had air. I think a fully charged fuel system will hold half a gallon. That's a good question, Scoob. Because I know that tank will take 18. I think you didn't shake it out good enough. I don't know. That 2.5 gallons, though, that's a lot. That's a lot. Huh. That's the first I've heard. Is there anything or any tunes to do that will make a substantial difference in a GP 1800R, such as increased top speed like SVHO? No. I mean, yes, but no. Stop it. You bought an HO. You bought an HO. You can mod that damn thing to run 74 miles an hour. It's going to sound like a Top Fuel dragster. I've been next to guys who have... I've been next to a guy... I've ridden with a guy... He's a friend of mine. He's actually a really cool guy. Who's got a Dean's Team tuned 73, 74 mile an hour VXR. It sounds like a freaking drag bike. He does. He's got big bitchin' cams in it. It's got high tension springs. He's got a killer tune on it. It's got to run 93 bare minimum. All right. And it's a rowdy freaking mess. He's taken a lot of the functionality out of that VXR. And he tells me that. He goes, yeah, this thing's badass, but I can't cruise it. I mean, I can cruise it, but it's kind of a pain in the ass. And so I'm like, do you regret it? And he goes, some days. So I'm warning you, don't. I'm trying to be a voice of reason on that one. You bought an HO for a reason. You don't want to go as wild as that. All right. Hey, Kevin, I have a 2021 GTX Limited 300. And I love the ski. As a guy that does all of his own maintenance, is there any way to reset the maintenance reminder without going to the dealer? Yeah, Map Tuner. If you had a Map Tuner X, you could do it. Use buds. Yeah, of course you could use buds. That's the easy answer. But if you had a Map Tuner, you could do that too. So if you wanted to flash your ski, you could also flash it too. So that'd be great. All right. I think that's everyone. Chris, what are your thoughts of the VXC compared to the Sea-Doo 130 Pro? Of two rental units? Ugh. I don't even ride the rental units. Guys, I don't even ask to ride the rental units because I don't care. Most people don't care. They've got a wave. Look at 80s wave. Being a John Hughes movie. I like Ergolock more than I like Yamaha seating. So I like that. I'm not a fan of the ST3 hull, but it's more comfortable. If you're I'm trying to think of like if I was a rental outfit. If I was a rental outfit, which would I prefer? The 130 Pro, the rental Pro, is pretty idiot proof. SMC hull, it's got a carbon seal that is unique to just that. And they won't give me all the details on it, but there's a difference. So I'd almost go with the Pro. Yeah, I think I'll go with the Pro over the VXC if I was a rental unit. But man, Yamaha's got such a good track record. You can beat the crap out of Yamahas, though. I don't have enough information on the longevity of the Pros, so I'm kind of having to lean back on Yamaha on that one. That's a tough one. I just haven't given much thought to it, so it's really hard to get an answer out of me on that one. All right, sorry. Because why don't I talk about Yamaha boats? Because they're like $50,000. And I know it's a boat, but it's got the same engines as the Wave Runners. Come on. Kevin, how do you like the new FX infotainment system? Will you do an in-depth video on it in the future? I would like to, but whether Yamaha will let me even get my hands on it enough to do something, I don't know how Yamaha is going to handle this year, guys. I'm hoping they turn everything around, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. Everything that I heard, everything that they told us was very encouraging. They're making, they're making gains and they're opening up production and they're doing a lot of really good, making a lot of good changes. So they're looking at satisfying a lot of production. I'm talking to dealers who are like, hey, listen, our projectives, our projected numbers are increasing by a fifth. So we'll see. I just don't know. Kevin, do you know if there's any way to swap the throttle and brake? So the throttle is on the left. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember you asked me about this, John. Do you know if I can swap the throttle and the brake? So the throttle is on the left due to a physical disability. Thanks to the information. I really, really have no idea. It's not like a computer program. You would have to find someone to rewrite that program in order to do that. I really don't know. I was informed I probably would not revive them until next summer. So just kind of taking a leap of faith. Chris F. Okay, yeah, he was asking about the rental units. Okay. Do. Yes, catch can. I've done so much stuff on catch cans. I've installed a catch can. There's an article on it. I don't think I did a video at least that was in depth. The article is enough. Click on the article. It's got a million pictures on it. You can do it. It's super easy. But definitely put the catch can on. 100%. So yeah, elite scrubs. You're going to have to go to watercraftjournal.com, type in Riva catch can. You'll see an installation article on how to do it. All right. Did the first oil change on my GP 1800R at 10 hours, now 12 hours. The throttle is not working and went into the limp mode. And then I took some oil out and smelled like gas and showing a code. That sucks. That sucks. I don't know what to tell you on that one. That's a dealer. That's a dealer or a shop. That's not a ask a guy on YouTube. Sorry. Yeah, you got fuel in your oil, dude. Yeah, you could hydrolock your motor. Your head gasket might be gone. I don't know. That sounds bad. Kevin, how do you feel on a decision between a 2022 GTX 230 and a 2022 FX Cruiser HO? HO. Hull. Although I like the ergonomics of the Sea-Doo better, Hull is light years ahead. Light years. Not miles, not kilometers. Light years ahead. It's a far superior Hull. Better ride. I prefer a better ride. Seat is comfortable. Steering is comfortable. I love the hull design of the FX the FX hull. Yeah, just such a better hull. Can't get launch control on the LTD without an X module. And how often do you use launch control? This is my launch control. I got an RX PX out there. I think I've used launch control, half a dozen times? Woo. I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong. But how often do you really use launch control? Enough to drop the coin on an X module to put on your GTX Limited 300. Save the money. Get a link cooler or the storage bag accessory kit or a cover or something worth a damn. You just all that for launch control. So you go, hey buddy, watch this. Boop boop. Whoop. I started an eighth of a second faster. I don't get it. After installing a Riva SCOM, I noticed I have launch control. No, you don't. You start in sport mode. That's the difference. Okay, cool. I'm glad you do. You have an RX TX. Again, you have an RX TX. The guy with the GTX Limited, why drop the coin? Doesn't make sense. All right, guys, I'm wiped out. We didn't even hit 100. That's my fault. I'm sick. I don't feel good. I'm wiped out. Low energy. Wasn't topics that people were excited about. I wasn't trashing other people's stuff. Blah, blah, blah. All right. Kevin isn't having it today. Sorry, I'm a curmudgeon. Sign up for the newsletter, guys. Don't miss the newsletter. You get all the videos. You get all the articles. Where do I put this? I don't know. Well, I'll put it right there. Sadly, I will be driving with the whole family coming home on Sunday night, so I will not be able to do a live podcast. So again, I apologize, but we'll pick it. I'll have a quick topic on Sunday, just for you junkies who need to have something 6 days a week. I won't miss it. I'll make sure that we have a video up. All right, guys, thanks again. Appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the thumbs up. We will we'll talk soon, and I'm going to get out of here. Be well. Nanu.